No, 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 no. Just no. You cannot just casually make this the best episode of the entire series after the disappointment that was episode 2. Like, no, you cannot do this to me. No, no, Gooseworks. Like, fuck you for making such a good episode. That was a joke, by the way. So all the complaints I had on episode 2 were that the pacing was way too fast and the humor was a bit of a downgrade, and like all the things that were hyped up which just did not hit. This episode was the complete opposite of that. Like, the humor was really funny, the pacing was really good, and like it lived up to the hype. The pacing was slower, and like I applaud Gooseworks for that. Yeah, like just good job, Gooseworks. It's amazing pacing. Also, like, thank God for the Kane therapy subplot, because like that was funny as fuck. Yeah, it was just funny. They were hyping up the fact that this episode would be scarier than any of the other episodes. Yeah, I was looking more into horror. And I'm just gonna say, guys, this episode was scarier than Murder Jones episode 8. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the biblically accurate angels are scarier than callback ping. Like, I'm sorry, someone had to say it. So even though in my episode 2 review I made it very clear that I prefer the lighthearted pilot more than the darker episode 2, the darker aspects are not what I hated. Like, I already listed everything I did not like in episode 2, like in the beginning of this review, so like don't even have to waste your time watching, just flip a clip text. So yeah, in that review I said that I wanted the darker themes to come back, and they fucking deliver on this new episode. Like, apparently Kinger had a wife. Like, everyone was already suspecting that on like the door in the pilot, because like there was a queen chess piece, like in contrast of Kinger, who was a king chess piece. Like, apparently we were all right, and like, did that shock me? Absolutely not. So the darker aspect of this episode was the fact that she extracted in front of him, like before she went to cell, or where the other abstracted digital circus members were. She let him like touch him like the last time. It's like, apparently when the environment is really dark, Kinger just like remembers that very heartbreaking moment of his life, and just like, I cannot tell you how much this was needed after episode 2. Like, I know everyone preferred that one over the pilot, but I just couldn't. So this episode was definitely needed, well, at least for me. Now, back to the Kane therapy subplot. Like, Subo apparently just is not happy with how she turned out. Like, honestly, that's, well, like, I don't know how to say this, but I guess like that's a good motive to like not want to experience the quote unquote amazing adventures that Kane put up, because like, if she cannot be happy with how she turned out, like, how she's supposed to be happy when like she's going on an adventure she just does not care about, while everyone else is like having time with their lives. Like, honestly, yeah, that's some really good character development in my opinion. Also, no, Gooseberg, you cannot just drop the fact that if Kane is like really sad or like experiencing a negative emotion, you cannot just drop the fact that like the digital circus like is not like gonna be in a good state in the fucking horror episode. Like no, you cannot do that. No fucking way. Like no, you cannot do that. Gooseworks, like no, you can't. Also, Gooseworks cooked with this soundtrack. Like, I was going to say AJ Disperdo, but then like I remember that he does not work on the show for some reason. Like he only works on Murder Jones. Like, but now that's over. Like, I guess like District. I don't know. Also, yes, I'm aware that he worked on Meta Runner. Like, why the fuck would I not look like not know that? Like, just look like to the right of this plushie and the background. Like, and yeah, he also worked on Sunset Paradise. Like, yeah, just to clarify, yeah, I know he worked on those shows. Like, you don't have to write in the comments, okay? Deal? Okay. Also, I was really having a hard time coping with the fact that Jax was like way more terrible in episode 2 than in episode 1. And like episode 3 did not fix it, but like as you just heard, like I was just coping. Okay, it's like I'm way over that fact now. Like I don't want to say that I'm matured because like I like don't want to say I'm matured because like I still don't take life seriously, but even then I have come to realization that Jax is always supposed to be a mean piece of shit motherfucker who's supposed to be hated from the beginning. It's like, yeah, he wasn't just rewritten in episode 2. Like, his dark side was just shown off more. Like, that's literally it. So yeah, episode 3. Yeah. So while I was editing this, I thought of an idea where I can like give a show, movie, or video game like 5 point max, and for my reviews, and I was wondering if you guys would like to see that from now on. So just write in the comments, and yeah, please write if you want it or not. Please now.